What if I told you England's most famous dynasty was born from betrayal, ambition, and a crown seized on a storm-swept battlefield? The Tudors. Rulers who changed Britain forever. A family of power, scandal, and secrets, whose legacy still haunts history today. But who were they really? Visionaries, tyrants, or survivors of a brutal age? The Roses. 30 years of blood and betrayal. England fractured, kings slain, thrones stolen. Out of this chaos rose an unlikely figure. Henry Tudor, a fugitive in exile with a weak claim to the throne. And yet, destiny had chosen him. In 1485, Henry dared the impossible, returning with a ragged army to seize the crown from the feared Richard III. At Bosworth Field, steel clashed, banners fell, and in the mud lay Richard's crown. Henry picked it up with trembling hands, and in that moment, a dynasty was born. Henry VII began his reign with paranoia. He crushed rivals, married Elizabeth of York to unite warring houses, and filled his treasury through ruthless taxes and cunning diplomacy. But was he a savior who ended civil war? Or a tyrant who ruled with fear? When his son Henry VIII inherited the throne, England rejoiced. Young, handsome, and charismatic, he was the very image of a Renaissance prince. But power changes men, and Henry would become a monarch feared across Europe. Henry's quest for love, and for a male heir, shaped his reign. 6 wives, each story ending in tragedy. Divorced, executed, dead. Betrayal and blood at the heart of the crown. But Henry's greatest gamble was with God himself. Breaking from Rome, he dissolved monasteries, seized their wealth, and declared himself head of the Church of England. Golden palaces glittered while monasteries burned. Heads rolled beneath the executioner's axe. Was Henry a visionary reshaping a kingdom? Or a tyrant destroying his soul for power? Henry left behind children, but no certainty. Edward VI, a boy king of fragile health, carried the banner of Protestant reform. Yet death claimed him before manhood. Then came Mary. History remembers her as Bloody Mary, determined to restore Catholic faith. Fires burned, martyrs perished, and a queen's dream ended in sorrow, and then Elizabeth, the Virgin Queen. Clever, defiant, refusing to marry. She survived assassination plots, rebellions, and the greatest armada ever sent to England's shores. Flames of martyrs, whispers of court intrigue, thunder of cannons at sea. This was the stage of the Tudor children. But how did Elizabeth turn a fragile kingdom into a golden age? Yet leave no heir to carry the Tudors. Elizabeth's reign was the Tudors' longest, and perhaps their brightest. She became Gloriana, a queen almost divine, her image carefully crafted to command loyalty and awe. Behind the masks and pageantry lay a brilliant politician, balancing Catholic and Protestant, noble and commoner, friend and foe. Yet danger never left her. From religious conflict at home to Catholic enemies abroad, even her own cousin Mary, Queen of Scots, plotting to take her crown. The defining moment came in 1588, the Spanish Armada. Against the might of Spain, Elizabeth's fleet struck with fire and storm, sending the invincible Armada into ruin. Exploration stretched England's horizons. Shakespeare gave it words of fire, and Elizabeth's court glowed with glory, but beneath the triumph lay tragedy. Elizabeth never married, never bore a child. She lived surrounded by advisors and courtiers, yet died alone. Was her reign the Tudors' greatest triumph, or their final tragedy? In 1603, Elizabeth I died childless. The Tudor bloodline was extinguished. The crown passed to James Stuart of Scotland, and with him a new dynasty. But the Tudors had already transformed England forever. They ended the Wars of the Roses. They broke with Rome and forged the Church of England. They centralized monarchy, funded exploration, and lit a cultural renaissance that still inspires today. The Tudors burned like fire, glorious, fierce, but doomed to fade. The Tudors rose in blood, ruled in glory, and fell in silence. Yet their story, of ambition, betrayal, and legacy, still shapes the Britain we know today. This was Echoes of Empire. Subscribe and join us as we uncover more untold stories from the heart of history.